Alright, this video series I'm going to answer some interview questions by YouTube user, the Demzly Show, username CraneStorm. So he asked me a series of questions that I'm going to answer, and there are a lot of questions. It goes very in depth, so this video series may be a few videos long. Alright, so I'm just going to go through the list of questions that he asked me and answer back. Alright, why did you decide to put the channel together, martial arts channel? Well, the reason why I put it together, first, basically, when I was in college, I created my own martial arts club. Alright, it was like pretty much like a mixed martial arts club, but it was not, it's not like mixed martial arts as far as like competition fighting. It was more like a real mixed martial arts club. So it wasn't, we weren't there to compete against each other, we were there to learn from each other. And I didn't allow people in that were just coming in just to fight or just to spar. It was an interview process that people went through, and we were very selective in who would enter the club. So basically in college, that's what my passion was. I put all my energies into that. So I might have been in college, Purdue University, for a specific major, technically on paper, but really to me, my real major was martial arts when I was at Purdue, and that was basically all my energies put into the club. Alright, so I was very, being very expressive, being creative, being able to be artistic during that period of my life. Then I ended up meeting my wife, and my life went to a different turn. I started to be more, my energy started to be more focused on her, and I started to realize the beauties of love and being in a relationship, and I started to be a lot less, I guess, focused on the aggression and the violence and the martial arts and things of that nature. Alright, so then I started to, after that I found some work, and in my profession that I had for a period of 4 or 5 years, I had to live a very private life. So I was restricted into expressing myself. I wasn't able to really put myself on the internet or anything like that and express my views or anything like that. So I was really restricted. So a part of me was not being fulfilled, that creative part of me. But it was basically what I had to do for my family, make a living, and that was the profession that I chose, which was a very private profession. So that's what ended up happening, and very easily I could have lived majority of pretty much most of my life in that profession and just working that, and I probably would have never made the channel. I wouldn't have, because I had to live a private life. That was the nature of the profession. But then things happened, unplanned things, and I ended up going away from the profession, and ended up leading towards the creation of this channel. What ended up happening was I had a very difficult time figuring out what to label my martial art. I didn't want to, because the thing about it, what I practiced, to me, it couldn't be labeled. It was just really hard to label it, because once you put a label on it, it misrepresents it automatically. And I guess that was one of my dilemmas. I wanted to share something, but I didn't know what to call it. And I was trying to come up with these different names, and nothing really satisfied me. And then I was asking my wife for some ideas, and she said, "What about like Freddie's Modern Kung Fu?" And then it just clicked right there. All of a sudden, I got like a surge of energy to create and share that art, because I think it really did. Even though I feel that my art shouldn't be labeled, I feel that Freddie's Modern Kung Fu accurately is pretty accurate and pretty good representation of what I truly practice. You know, because a part of it, of the name is my name, Freddie, and then Kung Fu. The true meaning is just basically striving towards perfection. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with martial arts or fighting or combat or whatever. So striving towards perfection. And for me, I didn't want my art to be limited to just combat. All right. So Kung Fu accurately describes what I practice, but at the same time, um, when people hear the word Kung Fu, they automatically start thinking about what they see on media, the movies, and they get a misrepresentation of the true meaning. They might think of like tradition, like animal styles and those kung fu movies where people make fun of and all the other stuff, and just basically mimic and make fun of the traditional ways and all this stuff. And I didn't want to be put in that category, so I didn't want to just have something like Freddie's Kung Fu, because then people might get a misinterpretation of what I practice. So when my wife suggested adding the modern into the modern Kung Fu, it basically was able to set my Kung Fu apart from the traditional. Alright, and from doing that, it it allowed me to really express what I really wanted to express and not just being limited to the martial arts. So I guess that's what started it. And at first, I didn't think it was gonna get much attention because I don't think that anything that I do is anything out of the ordinary or extraordinary or anything like that. But I just posted some prior fights, or, choreographed fights that I had in college. I posted some of that, and then I posted some pictures that I took and stuff like that, and it got some good responses. And then I just posted a few fitness videos, and all of a sudden, I had more responses. So I saw that people were interested in seeing what I practiced, and then I guess that it just went off from there. So I just keep posting videos and expressing my art, and I guess that's where it started. If I would have still been in that private profession that I had before, then I probably wouldn't have put the channel. I wouldn't have put the channel up. But things happen in life that are unpredictable, and it led me to this. And now I feel a lot more creative. I feel a lot more expressive. I feel a lot more free than I ever have before. And I really feel that this was kind of what I was meant to do. So, I guess if that answers that question right there. Alright, what martial arts have I studied? Alright, first I started off studying Shui Fut Kung Fu and Wing Chun Kung Fu under formal instruction, very personable one-on-one training with the Ing Family Martial Arts Association, based in Chinatown, Illinois, or Chicago, Illinois, in Chinatown. And I trained with them for 2 years, a period of 2 years. That set the foundation of the martial arts training for me, introducing me to the martial arts. And Shui Fut Kung Fu, Wing Chun Kung Fu are traditional arts, traditional Chinese martial arts. So it introduced me to the foundation. Basically teaching me the alphabet of the martial arts. How to, I guess, move my body correctly and coordinate my body in the right ways. So that's where I started off. Did that for 2 years, and then I ended up going to college, and then I created my own martial arts club, kind of like a mixed martial arts club called Fighters United. In that club was designed for people that had martial arts experience, and they were supposed to join the club, share their ideas, their techniques, different ways of training, and we all got together and we all trained together. Within that club, I came across a lot of different talented people, a lot of different martial artists from various different styles. I trained with kickboxers, boxers, wrestlers.